I'm struggling seeing that logo. I was going to use the C. I didn't. I had to try to. I was trying to like work on these graphics and play with it to make it more comfortable. It's awful. It's awful and it's embarrassing. Yeah. I like some of the new merchandise. I do not like, you're seeing the Guardians font on there. I do not like that font at all. Which I don't understand also. The C on the hats is not that font. So I guess it's weird that it's not, I don't know, because that's not the same font with the C on the hats than the script Guardians or Cleveland. So it's weird. It all came about quickly, and I think they made some rash decisions and it weren't good ones. I'm glad they kept the colors. I think the name, I posted something several years ago about possible names that I would have liked to seen. The Guardians was on that list. It doesn't surprise me this is where it went. Excuse me. I think a lot of people thought it was going to be the Spiders, which came up on last night's show with my buddy Sean. Yeah. Again, this is smart. Now look at their payroll. $37 million compared to what, 117 for the Tigers, 113 for Minnesota. And I don't remember where Kansas City was. I think they were up there too. So, that's a big discrepancy. But again, Cleveland has always had a really strong front office and always a really strong scouting department. Going back to the John Hart days in the 90s when all those young players came up, Baerga and Bell and Tomey and all those guys. They stay competitive. Terry Francona, he's a Hall of Fame manager. He'll definitely be there. He's such a great guy. He hopefully he's healthy and he'll be there all year this year. He's great with the young players. He's kind of the face of that organization, and I think he's the right man for this job right now. I hope we get a couple more years out of him, and we'll see what happens after that. But I like what they do. I mean, their pitching has been strong for the last many years. I mean, they traded away young pitching last year, which I was surprised at. But they always are kind of in the mix. And if any of these players have really strong years, they end up doing well. They missed the playoffs last year for the first time in I think 3 years. Finished in second place. Jose Ramirez is probably the most underrated star in baseball, and that's just not me being a homer. A lot of people say that. He's a quiet guy, goes about his business and just rakes in the numbers. He's a plus defender as well, runs bases really well. He's gone. I can't imagine, if they're not in the race, somebody's going to pay big money for him at the trade deadline or maybe even sooner. I hate to see him go, but we have to get some things for him. So I know he loves Cleveland. He loves playing here. So maybe we get lucky and he stays. I don't see him as a guy chasing the money. But if the organization, sees they can get a really good return, they're probably going to do it. I'd hate to see him go. I'd really hate to see him go. But let's take a look at their lineup. Really strong lineup. Hopefully Josh Naylor's healthy. He's a big bat in left field. Second base, I had Gabriel Arias at second base, and they sent him down yesterday. So they have several options at second base. Yu Chang, I think, is going to win the job there unless I'm not seeing something. This is a solid lineup. Ramirez, Rosario's, and picking up Miles Straw last year, I think it was a big pickup. And Fermil Reyes, he's such a character. He's such a fun guy. It's a fun team. They're guys that just enjoy playing. They enjoy playing with each other. They enjoy playing in Cleveland. So it's been a fun team to watch for many years. And it seems like, I don't know if it's Terry Francona, it's the city. Again, another one of those really good baseball towns. People think of it more as football. Sorry, that was a joke. I'm not even going there. That's a whole nother show. I talked to my buddy Dan Shaker a little bit via text, and we have some stuff to say about that. So I'm conflicted, and we have to have a Browns episode, or at least an emergency show to gather a Browns fans and talk about the crap that's going on there. But baseball's always been a really great baseball town, and this has been a fun team to watch. Going back to those 90s teams, it just seems like it always has an element, this kind of like lightness to the team, and and fun, and they have all these guys that just look like they're having fun playing baseball, which you don't necessarily always see. It's one of the things I really like about this influx of young talent and young stars in the game. Um, I'm more of a baseball purist, and through all the bat flipping and all that stuff, I've come to enjoy it, a little bit more than I thought I would. But their energy is infectious, and the young people like it, and I love it. I love it. But the Indians team and organization seems to always have that. So when I was looking at the Tigers and Indians, I see them as very similar teams. Would it surprise me if the Tigers jump over the Indians? It wouldn't surprise me at all. I could have flipped a coin on this. If Torkelson and Green have good years, and you get solid pitching, the difference to me is the pitching. Cleveland's pitching is superior to Detroit's, at least on paper. They've been solid for a very long time. So just to kind of look at the pitching there, Shane Bieber, he'll bounce back. He had some injuries last year. He pitched really well late in the year last year. He's a stud. He's still only 26 years old. Cy Young Award winner. He'll be back. He'll definitely be back. Zach Plesac's great. Savale's great. This is a really strong staff. I love Clace as a closer. Brian Shaw's back on the team, but he's not closing. Yeah, their pitching staff is strong. I mean, I don't think looking at all the research I've done and listening to the talking heads, and I don't think anybody thinks any of the other teams in this division below the Indians have a better pitching staff, and that's what does it. They have some nice talent in the lineup. They're going to score some runs, manufacture some runs now. Shaw at the top, maybe, but their pitching is solid. They give them innings, they eat up innings, and that's what keeps him there. I expect big things from Shane Bieber this year. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the top 3 in Cy Young again. We'll see. Has to stay healthy, but he's still only 26 years old. So, they have a lot. They're like middle of the pack, maybe 9, 10. I actually think they're a little higher. Minor league. I think they're like 6 or 7, or 5, 6 or 7. So they have a good system, and they have some people that are ready right now. So if some of these people in the lineup struggle, Steve Kwan may make the roster. Tyler Freeman, Gabriel Reyes, who I just talked about, he's really great. He's a great pickup. They have some serious talent. I'm going to pull up their thing here too. Just look at some of the others. So Cleveland, still so weird seeing Cleveland Guardians. So looking at their list, they have some major league ready talent. They have an influx of infielders, which will give them some flexibility at the trade deadline. So if they are in the race, if the White Sox stumble or going after wild card, there's one more team in the playoffs this year. Would they make a trade? We'll see. That's why keeping Jose Ramirez is going to be difficult, I think, at the trade deadline if we don't have a shot in this division. I mean, you have the American League East is so stacked. You might see 3 teams from that division again. Last year they had 3 teams over 90 wins. So they could have 4. But yeah, the Indians have some nice talent. To make some moves, kind of bolster. They're like next couple of years. Again, they don't have much money. I mean, I shouldn't say that. They're not spending much money, I should say. Payroll of 37 million. Sometimes frustrates me. But I think for what they spend, I'm not sure. I have to look at the Rays payroll. I know it's higher, much higher, but again, I have to look at this. Maybe I'll talk about this in another episode. But for the money they spend, does Cleveland get the most out of their organization with their budget? I think they have to be considered. I mean, I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head, and that's just not me loving Cleveland. Just look what they've done with the limited payroll they've had, and they've made making playoffs and made runs. I mean, they're always in the mix. So they do a really great job, and that goes into having the right people in the front office and the right analytic people mixed in with great baseball minds. They always have some young talent in the front office. So we'll see what happens. Could I see the Tigers overtaking them? Yeah, I can totally see that. That wouldn't shock me that you can flip-flop these guys around. I have the Indians at 86 wins, 86 and 76 in second place. I think I had the Tigers at 83 wins. So yeah, I could definitely see the Tigers if they get some of their young stars playing. I think the talent, looking at their minor league systems today, and over the past while and being familiar with them. The Indians have a lot of major league talent ready players. They have, they're pretty deep, particularly in infield. I think there's more star power in the Detroit farm system for sure. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Not just with Torkelson and Green, but they have more star power in their system than the Indians do. Indian system is deep and it's always in the mix. They do a really great job at that, but Detroit definitely has star power beyond Torkelson and Green. So would not surprise me at all if the Tigers, move ahead of the Indians. And I can see the Indians taking a step back here too. I mean, this is everything going, well. Again, their pitching will keep them in it. If their pitching wasn't strong, I'd drop them down below the Tigers for sure. But if people struggle, Josh Naylor doesn't stay healthy and other people don't stay healthy, they trade Ramirez or Ramirez goes down, Shane Bieber gets hurt. Yeah, I definitely see the Tigers moving ahead of them. Now, do I think the Royals or Twins could catch the Whites or catch the Tigers or Indians? I don't see it. I just don't see them getting to the 83, 85 win marks, but I guess I wouldn't be shocked. This division is weak. So again, I put the minor league affiliates there. Columbus Clippers games are fun to go to. The Rubber Ducks was one of our favorite logos when we did the logo episode. That was a fun episode. My kids want to do another one with just college logos. That stemmed from the St. Peter's run at the NCAA tournament, the Peacocks. So that was a fun episode. The Rubber Ducks was a top 5 logo for us. Anyway, so there's your snapshot for the Cleveland Indians, 86 and 76, second in the American League Central, which